Yo, 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 what is up, my crypto fam jam? How's everyone doing? Was your weekend good? Mine was chill. Didn't do too much. You know what I mean? I focused much more this weekend on us getting to, just relaxing because there wasn't much movement. There was like, okay, I'm going to buy the dip if Bitcoin dips, and it didn't really dip and it didn't really go up. And then at the end of the weekend, as it wound down, at least in my side on Sunday night, started to have a little bit of a pump. This is good. This is really good. I like that. All right, so let's jump into the markets. How's everyone doing? Look, I'm going to tell you today, let me just clean these glasses off. They're a little bit dirty. I'm going to tell you guys today what I'm seeing on the charts. What would be the bullish scenario if we did get bullish, and what we need to see. So a little bit of a bullish continuation. We don't have that really strong, powerful volume yet. What yesterday was promising was a little bit of a start, you could say, but we're not really there yet. So really, we have this nice start to the week. Let's not get overly bullish about it. Let's go, okay, maybe there's some opportunity. Let's trade it. Let's make some money. Let's do what we do, which is basically we make money, we look at the markets, and we tell you exactly how it actually looks. So let's look at the market. Let me just move my body over the other side of the screen over here, and let's chuck on a chart, and let's see what we got on Bitcoin. I'm going to answer a lot of your questions in a moment, so throw them in there. I'll come back to them. But today, the real focus for me is what's happening in the markets. We don't need to look at all the altcoins. And I'm going to explain something one more time about Ethereum and about Bitcoin that a lot of people keep asking me about and do not fully understand. And that is basically that when they created Bitcoin, they backed everything off of Bitcoin. So, like the stock market's based off the US dollar. When they created crypto, everything was based off of Satoshis. And because we're not really supposed to have the US dollar if you're in crypto, the stablecoin thing wasn't even a thought yet. So why is this important? Well, it's quite important because when Bitcoin's price value drops, right, or goes up, altcoin values are pegged to Bitcoin. In, I think, everywhere. I don't know of one place it's not. So basically, it's pegged to Bitcoin. And so as Bitcoin drops in value, so does all your altcoins. That's why people are always talking about Bitcoin, everything. Some of them aren't even maxis. Like, I'm not a maxi. But that is what's happening. And on Ethereum, the same thing as Solana. So here's the thing. You saw when Solana held its price value, right? How lots of its projects didn't lose value. Did you notice that about other chains? Like all their stuff goes up together because its underlying asset is based off their native currency. And a lot of the things have been set up that way because we shouldn't be basing our dollar, which is devalued constantly, which has 5% inflation in the US last year, which is losing its purchasing power, which means that you work hard 5 years ago, and if you save that in your bank, that dollar is worth almost 15 cents less right now from 5 years ago. That's messed up, but that's a fact. And this is why we don't like, stable coins to be our only thing, right? We need cash and stuff as we need it, but it's not going to gain value for you. You need to invest it. You need to put it in something, which is why I tell you guys about Yield app and Anchor the other day, and all these protocols where you could earn yield as little as 10 or even 6 up to, 40, 50%, depending on what you're doing. So what do I see on Bitcoin? Hex will come to later. But Bitcoin, what do we see? Because ultimately the whole market runs off of where this starts. So what did I talk about last week? Last week before the weekend was out, what did we see? We saw that we were running into this level. And what did I say kept happening? We were going to range down and up and down and up and down and up, right? So we're staying in that range. I said we probably do this a lot more. I still see us doing that unless, so the bull case for Bitcoin, everyone wants to know that. Everyone's, loves Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Even when I'm bearish on Bitcoin, I want Bitcoin to go up. It's just, I have to be honest and look at the chart and tell you what's up. So here I look and I see, all right, we have this nice baseline. If we can break above it, right, and retest it, and then break above this 200, right, we can get above that and then above 42, because 42 is that key level I talked about from before. We really want to break above that level and retest that level and then go higher, right? Because that's the next thing that we would do. So where are we really, like I said, where are we really going to get comfortable? We would like to see us maybe even range here. I would actually like to see this kind of cool off in range and see the cloud flatten like I told you guys, and then pop into the cloud in mid-July. That would be like a perfect situation. It may not work like that, okay? But that's what we should be looking for when it comes to Bitcoin, all right? So yeah, if you guys are watching this and you're new, welcome. Definitely smash on that subscribe and like. That helps us help YouTube realize that this is the content that's giving you the raw, real, un-BS content. It's hard to find that in crypto, and especially hard to find that on Twitter and on YouTube. Most people are just pumping. They never tell you about when you should stop, take profit. This is why I am here, to help you guys understand the right mindset to trade with, not just how to do it. I want you guys to learn for yourself. I want you to fish. I don't want to fish for you. This is why I'm always here trying to show you things, teach you things, because I want you guys ultimately in the future to be like, I actually learned something and I can use that. Because otherwise I'm just saying it to say it. And I don't want you guys blindly following everything I talk about. I want you to try and understand it. This will help you become alpha traders, not beta. Because if you're just trying to follow me and you don't have your own strategy, your own methodology, you're not going to be emotional, or not going to be emotionless. Sorry, you're going to be emotional because you're not really knowing why you're in a trade. When you know why you're in a trade, what the parameters are, when you should stop out, you don't really get as nervous, right? And so what I really like to focus on when I teach you guys this, you see I repeat a lot of the stuff every day. I repeat this so you can start seeing it too. So it's kind of like me, it's not me forcing you to learn it, but it's me kind of helping you get to that next level to learn and understand and feel confident. But what my problem here is this. Okay, so we just opened our daily. It's been about what? So the daily opened 6 hours ago. And in 6 hours, our volume has been absolute shit. Okay, because look, if we break this down into 24 hours after 6 hours, this is not going to be enough volume to really push us above the yesterday's volume. We want to see this volume increasing on the white side, right? Which would tell us that there's more money coming into the market. What I'm not going to see here in the first 6 hours of the day is that Asia woke up and went, we don't really care. And they didn't really pump the price much. That doesn't mean that by the time, this evening is when we open in it's about 8 hours from now we open. That doesn't mean in 8 hours now, the US wakes up and pushes this. But what I'm saying is we don't have the volume yet to really say that this response was legit. What I mean by that is like, here is like, okay, I'm bullish. I'm really bullish. And then all of a sudden it's like, the volume is tapering off. Then we go down to the 1 hour. Let's see how the hourly volume is gone. So we've seen there's impulses on the volume because you can see them here, almost like giving us the middle finger, like, hey, ew. So we could see that there was good volume there. and it didn't really follow up yet, but we do have a plan that we were trading, and that would be this one. So even though I'm on an hourly, you can still see that my plan is very similar no matter what, and that's our 200-day EMA. I just drew that so I could see it. So that would be our plan on the hourly chart, but on the daily, it looks a lot smaller because obviously, you know, a day is a lot more hours than an hourly chart. There's 24 candles in the hourly versus a daily. So that's what we're looking for. That would be our bullish case for Bitcoin. Our bearish case for Bitcoin is what I talked about this week, actually last week, where I said, watch out for the fake out. And this is what I was talking about. So just to remind you guys. So I said I think it was on Friday, we were doing a live feed, and I said, look, we see this trend clearly here. We broke out of this trend, but here is why I said we might have a fake out breakout, okay? Or a breakout fake out. Because of this, we have this level right here, right? And we see that it's acted as resistance already several times in the past on the way up, only acting as support once or twice. So this is a very strong level on a daily based off of like the amount of candlesticks we have in this time period in the history of Bitcoin forever. So it's a pretty key level right now. And so we need to break above and not do another wick. We see these wicks. We need to do a real candle close above. What I mean by candle close above is you're going to see the actual candle, the body close above this level right here, right? If we close above that level and we do not reject it, it could be what I was showing you right there. We're moving up to 42. If it rejects it, it could come down and we could look for a buy order right here on this level. Okay. Why are we looking for a buy order right on here? Because it never retested. Why else are we looking for a buy order around 38,000? Because if it comes down and retests here, we also have the 21-day EMA. So it could come down, retest that, and break out and actually go for a proper breakout, right, of this level. So it could break out, fake out, come retest and break out. So we have two bull cases for Bitcoin here that we have to be watching for. That means that you don't have to sit there in front of your screen guessing. You now know what to look for. Okay, so now you're a little bit more well set up. What's the bearish case on this side though? Okay, I'm right now thinking more bearish still because we're under the cloud. We're not above the candlesticks. We don't have a bullish TK cross. So we're not bullish right now. So because I'm not bullish, I'm still thinking more bearish, play defense. Is it really worth getting to 42,000 buying in now? Or is it better to buy at 38 going for 42 with a stop loss at like 37 or 36.5? The R on the trade is what we should look at. Always looking at the R. What is R? R is the risk to reward. So if I do the trade from here and I stop out, let's say if I think it breaks back in there that around, let's say, let's do it to this low of this candle. I'm just going to put this as an example, okay? And then we're aiming for 42. So we have a 1.7 R trade. Is that even a good trade? Probably not. It's not 2.5 R. It's not by 2.4. It's like 1.6. So you're going to make 69% more money than if you stop out. It's not worth it. It's not good risk to reward. It's actually horrible risk to reward. So, you know, on those trades, we wouldn't take them. So sometimes it's not even worth it. But if we go to the 4 hour, what does that show us? So that show us we had a Kumo breakout, but we never had a retest. And what do I always tell you guys about this? I am going to look to buy where? I'm going to look to buy if we come back down to 36,500, 36,500 or so. Around this level. This is where coach is buying on Bitcoin. If it comes and retests somewhere around this level where it flattened on both those tops. Why? Because we had a bullish Kumo twist. We have a candle. We're above the candlesticks of the Chiku, right? We had a bullish TK cross and we're above the cloud. So on the 4 hour, Bitcoin is bullish. On our secondary chart, we're looking for bullish signs. But what's the bearish sign? That if we do come and actually push that 40K, we're going to run into the 4 hour 200 EMA and likely reject it and come back down. So we want to get into on the retest of the actual diagonal, or we want to get into it on the retest of the Kumo. So this is Bitcoin TA at a high level. So then now you guys know what to do in both situations. Right now, overall on a midterm level, like on a month-to-month level, I would say I'm still bearish. But on a 4 hour secondary chart, it's quite bullish. And actually, if this comes down and retest this level, that would be quite bullish. What else can we do to find out and get confluence? So let me just give you one more and then we'll get to some questions. So on the 6 hour, how do we look? Well, we had a bullish TK cross right here, which means you would be entering there. We have a Chiku span that's bullish, right? So we're starting to see trend change. You want to see this pop out of the top of the cloud and look at where the top of the cloud is flat, right around 45. So this $45,000 level people keep talking about, it's seen on multiple strategies, on multiple traders' charts. There's a reason for that. That's not a mistake. Now, what are we seeing here? This is also quite interesting. So we don't have the bullish TK cross yet on the 8 hour, but we see the similar type of movement. What about on the 12 hour? Again, similar types of movements. So now the Kijin's coming down, the Tenkin's flattening, and may cross for a bullish side. So we're starting to see slowly from our midterm or short-term trading strategy to our high time frame that we are starting to see some trend change. But what is the big problem I have? It's the volume. We need more volume because that's the one thing all traders trade off of. And look at our volume from the dump based on right now. Look at our volume on when we're moving up, right? It's more of this volume is sell pressure, right? So let's see how this plays out. I'm still not convinced we're in a full bear market. And I said this many times. But that is the key piece. This is what I'm trying to help you understand. Because if you understand where Bitcoin's going to go, you know when to get into altcoins. If you don't understand where Bitcoin's going to go, you probably shouldn't be in altcoins. It's that simple. Okay, I'm going to get to some questions. I know I've been talking a lot. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to stay really focused for this part to give you the full picture of where we're going. So if you guys have questions, chuck them in the chat right now. I'm not going to do TA yet on other coins because I have some other stuff to share with you first. But that is what we're doing. Now, tomorrow, because War was, he was actually really busy last week traveling, so we didn't get all the charts in. And you guys are probably going, where's the data? Tomorrow, on our video that I'm recording with War, we're going to go over the data of the last week and show you guys how much the whales actually can predict your own behavior if you're following what they're doing and doing the opposite of what retail are. And it's really, really cool and so interesting to see trends based off of data, not based off of emotion or on the chart, but just based off of the raw things. And let's get into some questions. The wick off accumulation phase is still going. A lot of people are saying definitely that this could be wick off. I agree. But what happens after Wyckoff has that distribution? It actually goes into what we say accumulation. So we're looking for that, as we've been talking about for quite some time. And then we're looking to break in. And I think that this cloud really is going to flatten out somewhere around here. So that'll be around 38,000. If we get a flat cloud and we can get that into start of July and we can pop into that cloud, that would be buonissimo. It'd be perfect. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. Now, let's get some questions. Death cross. See, these death crosses and stuff, I don't trade off of them. Just so you guys know, I'm not a trader of MA crosses. That doesn't make me trade any different. Usually, you can see that stuff coming a mile away anyways. I mean, the death cross and stuff is happening, what, now? Who cares if it's happening now? It doesn't help you now. What would have helped you is noticing that we were topping right when I was saying that, like, we might make this into a shoulder and then come back down, which is exactly what happened. So questions. All right. There's a lot of questions. Oh my goodness. Good job, guys. All right. Enlightened Investing says, nice stuff. PB, why don't you use 1 day on TA? I always use 1 day. Only 1 day. Why don't you use 1 day also? I only use 1 day and 4 hour mainly. These are my mainly. Sell frame, aka sell. Sell frame, I stopped backing that project with the whole Kel VPN stuff that happened. Just I lost faith in the team because they were connected and there was a lot of shady stuff that happened in my opinion. So that is where it is. Trade setup for tonight. Now you know what it is. Okay, let's look at some coins here. Let's get on some Dex Tools coins. Remember, guys, if I don't know this project very well and I haven't talked about it before, you need to tell me which blockchain it is on. What in the hell is this? Oh my goodness, is this pussy credit? Awesome. See, the thing about these projects, right? And I'm gonna enlighten you guys. If you want to see the market come back, stop investing in these. I'm telling you, the whales, the big players, they don't like this stuff at all. They really don't. Unfortunately. Like, I'd be down for like real stuff, you know, even creator coins, but this is like over the top reals. So people are asking about CCI, which is WWT for whatever weird reason they made whatever they call this token. It is CCAI. It's called the wormhole token. No idea why they called it that. Honestly, it was a weird name. But how is it done? So it's above private sale price. And guys, remember, all exchange tokens take a long time. Let's see how MoFi is doing. Let's have a quick look here. Mobify has got, like I said, they have the R3 Corda connections and stuff, but this thing has just been getting absolutely destroyed. People just lost faith in the market. And the thing is, projects like Mobify and others, they're hurting. But here's the thing. Once these guys have all that stuff go through, they still got the money in. They're still building the bridge. They're still doing stuff. So does that mean that it's guaranteed to be successful? No. But an R3 Corda bridge and the connections that they have could develop into a very revenue positive model. So that's what's up. Oh, who just said convicts? Who just said convicts? Jeremy Moran, you are a smart dude, bro. Honestly, you are a smart dude, because CVX, bro, this is one of those coins that it seems like it came out of absolutely nowhere at all. Like, and yeah, wow, it's back to this. So it has really good farming stuff going. And I remember talking to a good friend of mine. We were talking about how on the way up, like, we were buying it around here, and then it mooned. So people sold, obviously. Now it's back to its support levels, likely to see another accumulation phase before the growth. But a great project with some really good alpha there. You can make some pretty good money with them. Coach K, what's our buy zone? 36, 37, 5. Oh, well, our buy zones, like I said, guys, are right here. So we have two opportunities. Number one, we come back and retest right here, which is about 38,000. We retest the candle, the close. Sorry. We will, let me just delete this here quick. Okay, so we will come back and retest 21, which is also coinciding with the breakout. So we come fake out, breakout, boom, breakout again, or we come and we break down and come back lower, way down here, which is less likely at this point right now. But we're looking potentially this closes above 39,400, that level we kept talking about that kept rejecting. And if it closes the daily above here in 18 hours, likely we'll retest 39.3 and go higher to 42. But I wouldn't take that trade because your likelihood of stopping out are really high, unless we close above here and you want to have a really loose stop and take a really bad risk to reward on that trade. I wouldn't do it. So that's what I would do. You do whatever you want. It's your money, guys. I don't tell anyone to do whatever. I don't tell anyone what to do with their money. You do whatever you want. It's yours. But that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Questions? Trias. I've heard about Trias before. Which one is that? Is Trias the one on BSC? I can't remember. There's too many of these darn. Someone needs to make, I'm telling you, if someone makes, there we go. So it is on BUSD. I'm not a big fan of BSD at all, to be completely honest. And it's not because I'm a hater. It's just because I find that their projects are just not very good quality ones. They're just usually all memes and jokes and stuff. And I haven't really seen tons of stuff like Refinable where I'm like, yeah, this is good stuff, you know, where it doesn't come up that much. So Wex and Sale are two low caps. Wex we talked about in my group when it was new, but wow, it had a nice recovery. Our boys, we got in really early. I didn't get in, but my boys in the group did, and they rode this thing all the way up and sold on the way back down. And I'm sure some of them were smart enough to see that rounded bottom when it broke out of this level right around 6 cents and likely went in again. I don't know though for sure, but it's made a beautiful cup, and it could definitely make a handle right here. So it could come down if you get that opportunity and you see this dip a bit. That could be your buy zone in here, right around 7-8 cents. So that's what we're looking for Wex. All right, let's see. ISPO Link, ISPO. How have they been doing? That is definitely not, I suppose. I think they're on Uniswap. Let me just check. ISPO. Charlie 3. Oh, we'll definitely get the Charlie 3. I'm a big fan of Charlie 3, guys. Or just Charlie, whatever. C3. Oh, wow. That got wrecked pretty bad. Yeah, that's at like buy-in price for most people. So this is the problem with projects, man. When people lose their faith, it becomes very hard for them to maintain. And honestly, I kind of expected this for a lot of the stuff that I have in my repertoire. You know, people think that I'm gonna give you some perspective. People think that hold on one sec. Sent you an email. Guys, if you send me an email, you have to send it to my team. I don't check emails from the team email. So if you're sending personal emails to me, I won't read them because I have way too many of those. The one thing about being an influencer that sucks the most is you have never a moment in a day where you don't have 99 messages on Telegram, where you don't have 100 messages on every other app, where you have 100 inboxes on Twitter if you let people message you and inbox you on Twitter. So it can be very difficult to keep up with that for sure. All right, let's look at Casper. This is one that my friend, let's see, Casper Labs. It's so new though, it's really hard to trade. Like, this is like Apron Finance, right? You can't really trade very easily things like Apron Finance, for example, right now, because you don't really have a history. So how do you trade stuff where it just comes down and then it comes back up? It's very difficult. Like, we can see there's probably some kind of floor around here, but it's not really made or established because it hasn't been around long enough. So that's the key piece. So Casper, honestly, a lot of these types of coins, unless you trade like intraday, and I don't, you're not really going to have they don't have a solid base of a floor yet, right? We could say maybe this is a floor that it will come back to as a double bottom, but yeah, it's hard to really trade something without history. And I'm not a big fan of trading like on the 1 minute or 1 hour or 5-minute charts. We use bots for most of that stuff because it makes it a lot easier. So yeah, Casper, it's not ready yet. You know what I mean? It needs some more time to kind of level out and really truly bottom, because it's like, maybe it bottomed here. No, it didn't. It drove down again. Maybe it bottomed here. No, it didn't. Drove down again. Maybe it'll drive down again. So we have to just be patient with Casper. It's not giving us an opportunity yet. Now let's go back over to Charlie 3 or C3, whatever you want to call it. It did have a nice double bottom type opportunity. You can clearly see that it came back to that level again. Will this break above? What we need to look for is if it does bottom out and it's truly, this is the little bottom that it's created for right now. We can clearly see that it's made a clear top that sells every single time it gets to this level, around this level or close to this level, it sells out, right? So we know that. And so knowing this, it makes it easier for us to our job, because we can see that a good range to buy in, which it's already staying in, is between, you actually have almost like a second range in here as well. But like, if you buy in this zone, right, and you aim for the top of this level here, it's pretty easy. So you would get out if it goes below, right, because you don't want to be in here. So you get out if it goes below, and you aim just a little bit below. Don't be greedy. A little bit below the top. And you have to try and see, if you entered this trade, would it be good? 2R trade, not so much, right? We went a little bit too low here, as we saw when we get down. So we're just going to put a little bit below, and now we have a 2.5R trade. This is a reasonable one we could enter. We would want to, though, enter in the zone. So the idea would be to buy a little bit as it comes down, so it reduces our buy price. So if we bought the first time at $1.41, we'd be buying $1.37, $1.35, $1.34, $1.32, whatever, something like in those ranges. So as we buy in, we buy a little bit bigger for the amount that we're going to do, as I've taught you before. And that's the way to do it. So ShopX had a nice little pump the other day. I don't know, did it hold that, though? That's the question. I'm going to get some more of your questions, guys, and then I'm going to share with you some new stuff about ETH and other things. So yes, it did have a little pump. So, I mean, it's nothing really exciting, obviously, because for where they started, but I am seeing some encouraging signs here, and ShopX did bottom out pretty good here. And what do we need to see? We need to see clear, established breakout levels, right? So we need to see ShopX do something like this, where it breaks above and retests and then goes higher. And we would see, like, obviously the first zone would be here. And where's the next one? So that'd be around 45 cents. Then we have another nice level around 70 cents of resistance right here, right? And then, so we'd be looking for those on the way back up. Now, a lot of people go, oh yeah, maybe that won't happen. I suggest that you look at Lend chart, the chart for Lend. They were at 32 sats. And when they changed to Aave, I don't know how many sats they are right now, but look at what Aave is worth in sats, Satoshi value. And then remind yourself that one Aave, you can divide it by 100, right? And find out how much percentage those people are up. It's like, I think it's like 2,000% or something like that. It's insane. All right. I'm talking a lot. I'm going to get on to some other stuff. Hey, from India. Hey, what's good entry for C3? And you guys got that now. What's Paid doing? Paid has a lot of really good stuff. Like, Kyle's been working really hard. The team has been working hard. So where's Paid going? That's the question. Is it going to the moon? Well, right now, everyone's just sticking in that zone, right? And people forget it looks horrible, but people forget that Paid started at 4.2 cents. So it's still in a great place. It's over 10x still, even after all that dump. So no one should be really complaining unless they bought too high and didn't sell out and held too long. That would be horrible. I would understand that. All right, so here we still, like, on Paid, it's not super, like, it's bottomy, but it's really ranging. It's kind of figuring itself out still. The market's still figuring itself out. So I honestly, right now, people need to understand what else Paid is doing and not just focus on Launchpad. So that's why I'm not like market selling on Paid, because I know that there's more coming from them. And that's exciting. I look for that. All right, Venus. Venus, we looked at yesterday. Okay, questions. Holy moly. PFK broke down to pre-sale prices, and the project is a huge building block on DOT. But remember, PFK can't be even used yet. And that's something that you have to understand. PFK. Where is it even traded? I don't see it on Uniswap. I have to find it later. Yo-Yo. Oh, that one from Binance. That one's an interesting one. Okay, quickly, let's just look at Bitcoin dominance and go back to my trade plan for dominance. Remember what it was. Scale into USDT, not into Bitcoin because it was too expensive. Bitcoin dumped, started scaling into Bitcoin, 31, 33 several times. Now Bitcoin's pushing higher. Now we flip this. So now instead of selling all out to Bitcoin, right? Now we be buying Bitcoin if it starts to break out, because Bitcoin dominance will go up. What should we do? If it's not the alt season of alt seasons, alts are going to get wrecked because Bitcoin will moon against alts. So you have to be careful right now. That's one of those things. But what I'm telling you, really key piece I'm telling you here, is this level has to break above. If it rejects it again, we'll go right back down to probably about 34, 35, something like that. We'll reject and come back and fake down, or we'll break out. So there's a lot of decision points today for Bitcoin, but it's a big point for Bitcoin. This could be a turning point to start getting more bullish again on Bitcoin. But I'm still technically bearish because of our chart, because of our Chiku, because we're under the cloud, because the Kijin is way above the Tenkin. So that's why I'm bearish. Nothing to do with fundamentals, what I think about Bitcoin or not like or like about Bitcoin, just based off of the chart. The more you guys can do that, the less you'll ever get bearish. That's the important. But a breakout can be a breakout fake out very easily, Hawkeye, if this does not actually close above. If it doesn't close above, all the stuff that we're saying, yeah, it's not good. So you mean PKF. All right, sorry, PKF, Poker Foundry, right? Yes. It's all about who are the funds in all these projects that dump super hard. You got to start looking at that. That's what you really should be looking at. Not anything else. Who is invested in the projects that dumped the most? Start doing research. There are people, there are places that I will not invest $1 into anymore because I saw that the people that raise funds for certain projects or that were doing SAFs for certain projects, did anything for certain projects, were shady as F. Okay? So Poker Foundry, why is it not mooning? Here's the reason. It may not just be because of that. But who can use DOT yet? It's just, everyone's like, oh, we're building staple blocks for the DOT ecosystem. Who is using DOT yet? It's the same situation. Who are using DOT? They can't be using DOT yet. So Poker Foundry is it's like infrastructure for DOT. But until DOT actually is live, doesn't really help. Can I please interview or review Luna? I think Luna is a great project. It's super bullish. There are large players that are backing Luna that really like it. But the thing is, it looks exactly like Bitcoin, where it mooned, and now it's got almost like a gigantic head and shoulders, right? You kind of see that. It's like, it's not exactly, but it's almost like you see a gigantic head and shoulders, right? So I look at that and go, okay, it's interesting. But on a technical level, I mean, there's nothing bullish about this yet on the daily. On the 4 hours, still nothing bullish about it yet. Actually, it's bearish more than it was bullish because it did have bullish signs on the 4 hour, then it broke back down. So you'd have to wait. I'll be waiting to see how this reacts, over the coming week. I like that the cloud thinned. It easily can break to the other side. But, I mean, when we have crazy dumps, the cloud gets faked out a bit. So we have to just wait and see more on the daily what's happening. And the daily is telling us that we have a while till we get bullish on Luna. For like, it could definitely push up that way, but there's we're not really seeing higher highs or anything like that. We're seeing lower highs, so that tells me a lot. Like, here's a high, here's a lower high, here's a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. Not really bullish at all, Luna, right now. I like the project though. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm just gonna check my timing here quick. Just want to make sure that we're not gonna go over too crazy. So we're at 37 minutes. Perfect. Okay, give me your trades. I'm gonna give you some of mine. How about that? You guys want to know what I'm looking at? What are my eyes on? KSM definitely should be something that your eyes are peeled for. Why? Because it's one of the technically bullish charts-ish. It's like kind of limbo-ish. It's neutral bullish because we're still kind of in the cloud, but we're kind of over it if we don't include this kind of anomaly that happened there. So we're starting to look more bullish on Kusama. We're still, like I said before, aiming for that $600 level again. And then what we would look for to come back down and retest again somewhere in this level where we've come back down to in the past. So somewhere around this Kijun, which is flat, around 400. So that could be a beautiful ranging trade. And to look a little bit closer, we go on the 4 hour and see that we zoom in. We have more bearish signs here on the 4 hours. So it's not super bullish. We're kind of neutral bullish on KSM. So we're watching that one this week. Fala's been quite bullish. I mean, it didn't really dump ever. That was the really interesting thing. So yeah, it did dump, of course, but like it didn't really affect that, our May dump. It got absorbed and threw right back up to where it started. And now it's in a bull flag formation on this daily. See how we have a flag and it's about to break out. It wants to break out. So this is a very bullish chart for me right now. That's why I'm bullish on it. Soul Summer is still active, obviously. I think that Solana could do some crazy moves. Seriously, it's like, I'm serious, crazy moves. Why? Because it has such a bullish chart on the daily still. And all it needs to do is probably take about another week to pop this Chiku on the other side. And then probably another week for this Tenkin to push above and get crossed up over the Kijun. And then we'd be above the cloud. And that would give us all signs for bullishness to keep going higher. So that's good. We got to keep our eyes on that. Costensos was doing some really interesting stuff I was watching the other day. As you can see, I saw volume pump into that. And I just put it on my watch list. And what did I do? I waited to see if there's follow-up from the volume that pumped in. And no, it didn't. Just like here and just like there. So I watch for follow-through. If there's no follow-through, it doesn't really help. So this was a lot, but then there was still more volume here than there was all week before it. So I knew this possibly could go if we're looking at that to understand when we should. But yeah, this was a trade we can take off our list. Didn't end up looking bullish. Didn't get the follow through. What do we have for DOT? Well, DOT was our buy around $19.40, 46 cents, something like that. And now we're really aiming to see if this does exactly what we always talk about, turns into a magnet for us on this flat Kijin on the daily. So it also coincides with this flat Kumo top. So it's very likely we could see this pull up again, and you're starting to see that the Tenkin's getting ideas of pulling up. But again, the major piece of the puzzle here, volume. Volume's dissipating. It's not good. Price goes down, volume goes down. This might be a move to the upside, because when both reverse, when volume dissipates and price drops, usually leads to a pop. So that's a good thing for DOT. All right. Let me look at all these questions, guys. Sorry, I go on tangents because I want to just get as much information without stopping so you can hear it all. I read blindly languages. I don't know. I can't read that. Go on Telco Coin Dent. It's going to boom. It's in circulation, is maxed out. There's limited supply. Yes, Telco Dent actually was a project I talked about when it was near the bottom during the bear market. And I said it's one of those ones, if you hold it, it might be one of the best buy opportunities. That and Tel, both of them have had really strong moves. We'll see how they keep going or not. The top three projects to last the bear: Ethereum, BTC, DOT. Those are the ones you know are going to be here no matter what happens, right? You go for the ecosystems that everyone builds on. How do I feel about Super Farm? Good question. I haven't looked at that in about a couple days or maybe even a week. Let's see how Super Farm's been doing. They have a very active group of people. Let's see how active Super Farm has been on the charts. Still has a pretty good volume. Looks very bottomed out here, right? So if we do get bullishness back in the market, a lot of these charts are like ready to get volume back in them, right? Because there's not a lot of big, huge buying and selling here happening on, at least on DEX tools. But that doesn't include the volume that's on Binance. But I'm sure that's also quite low right now with alts and everything kind of winding down a bit. But remember, Super Farm is still 63x for someone who got in a private sale. So super profitable. And a lot of people have been taking tokens and selling them, and there's people buying it up. So there's definitely something coming. I don't think Elio would let everyone down. So let's see. Nobody is using dots. You're right. Are you anti altcoins? No, I'm definitely not anti altcoins. I'm a very big fan of altcoins. Altcoins have done extremely well for myself and my crew. Equalizer or B-Bank long-term. Block Bank, I'm an advisor. I'm definitely someone who is going to be biased, but I know what they have and I know what's coming. And I would probably tell you guys, this is going to be the type of project that it sits down here, the distro happens, all that stuff goes on. But long term, they have a lot of stuff, a lot of tech, a lot of partnerships. So this is a great one. Block Bank, Yield App, anything that you can yield, right? BlockFi, Celsius, Nexo, Anchor Protocol, like all the stuff I told you on the video I made last week. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch my last video where I talk about how to make money in a bear market. So you guys can learn how to do that. It won't be as profitable, but you won't get your ass handed to you by the market, which is really the most important part. Weed and alcohol coins. I mean, you can't really drink them, so that is what it is. So EVN. Okay, so let's see how Evolution Finance has been doing. Honestly, this is what, 400x still or something? Let's see. It's 426x from its initial $1 buy-in. So this is doing absolutely awesome. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to, and what we're seeing here, potential for a breakout happening here right now live as we look at this chart. I see this breakout opportunity right about to happen. So here's a live trade for you potentially that I might take if we do get it. But we see how we got this nice flat bottom right here. So what I'm thinking is it's come to this decision point, right? Came up, It came back down one more time, and now it's like, okay, it's going to do one of these. If it's bullish, it's going to retest and go higher. And the first level you'd be looking at is not really that strong, so right around $500 plus. Pretty good project. And then we have the EVNY. This is the liquidity token that if you hold it, you can earn EVN. And I believe their ecosystem should be getting started up sometime soon, but the project has done extremely well. And so, you know, some people don't like it, some people do. Yeah, Shiba Death. Guys, look, if you invested into coins that are Jeju Dodge, Kishu, Axia, whatever these dumb coins are, and you got wrecked, I hate to say it, but I fucking told you so. And I told you not to invest in this crap because it will go down. And what ends up happening is people realize later. What do I mean by that? Let's just do this real quick for everyone to have a quick lesson on how shit works. Most people, okay, most people that bought in, that bought here, already sold. There's no way they held it. They've been selling all the way up, okay? Here's what's happening right now with the Dodge crew, okay? I'll tell you exactly what's going on with Dodge people. Dodge people, this is what they're doing, okay? You guys ready for this? They're saying it's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep coming back, right? Because they don't know how to trade. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And this is what happens, okay? Where's support if it loses it down here? 24 cents. There is none. All the way down till what? 4 cents? So here's what's going to happen with Dodge. Dodge is going to slowly start coming down lower because people are going to realize it's not going higher and they're going to want to keep whatever money they have made. And very likely we see it do something crazy like that. And it dumps down over the, and not like straight like a line, but more like this, where we'll see it go on like one of these types of slow people realizing they're not going to get their money back, you know, going a slow death. That's what I expect to happen with Dodge and all the other crap coins that are doing it. Thoughts on Nord? Chester Alden, nice to have you on the channel. Guys, if you are new on the channel, do click on that subscribe and like button. I don't ask you a lot, but it is appreciated when you do so. So Nord just, I believe, had their last token distribution. So they are done with that now. They have one of the better market makers in the industry working with them, but how did they fare on the dump? They did find it pretty rough. How will this do now? Well, there's no more tokens coming out in circulation anymore, so this should be a nice bottom. Let's see if it can break out and start pushing back higher towards, you know, respectable levels where they were around $7. Do I think this is going to happen? Probably not. There's no volume. No one cares about this project anymore based off of the volume. So I would not be holding the bag of this one. No way. Only, I'm telling you guys, and I've told you for this for a while, majors, majors, majors. Focus on majors, major cryptocurrencies. That's where you're going to make your money. The majors. Okay, especially right now because it's less risky. Minor projects, small ones with low liquidity will get you wrecked. You buy in this coin and you try to sell $500,000 worth, you will take all the tokens out. So I just see this as a project, just, it's not going to come back. Most of them are not going to come back. Let's be real here. Take your money and run. It might come back on a relief rally. Get your money and run. That's what I would be doing. Oh, poor Max. Poor Max. Oh, Max. Oh, poor you. You're just upset because the reality is, bud, that you just got wrecked, bro. If that's what you're talking about right now and you're angry, you're a Shiba. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, Max, no one can actually see your messages, so you might as well stop because we hide all your messages with your whining and crying. So, all right, the whiner and crier is now not here. Let's get back to trading. What is EUSD? I have no idea. Let's look at Matic, though. Let's get back to trading. One thing you guys will learn about me is I block everybody that talks crap to me. I don't even care. When my camera's out of focus again? Is it doing that again? Seriously? So annoying. It's not on autofocus. It should be fine. There we go. All right, so Matic. How's Matic doing? Well, Matic gave us a nice trade. I want to show you where I exited that trade. So when did I know to exit? Well, here's what we look at, right? So we go to volume. I need to go really get some data here. And what I did when I was looking to exit this trade down here, why did I exit this trade down here? So go into the 15-minute. So I saw it dip pretty hard, right? Here's what I looked for. It just told me in the volume to get out. So I was watching these volume bars, okay? This is something that you guys can do. As you get more into trading, you'll learn what to look for. I saw that we had a lot of candlesticks on the 15-minute really pushing the price down. This is only from, 20 to 45 to like, it's like 8, 9, 10 hours, something like that. So I saw there's a lot of volume being pushed into it, right? And here especially, as this volume increased, I knew we might be bottoming out. And what I saw after that was this candle. And then I said, I'm going to wait for volume to come in. And I saw this one. So right here, I got out. That was why. Because I could tell at that point, it might be the right time to get out of this trade. And so, because the volume increased on the sell side and then all of a sudden increased on the buy side about as big as the sell pressure, I could see that maybe it's going to go. And when I saw 2 volume bars after that for 2 15 minutes, boom, boom, it was like, oh yeah, there we go. So can I check HTR? Yeah, let me see. Hathor, I'm a big fan of. Love their stuff. Theta Fuel? Theta Fuel, is it still mooning? Because it was before. All right, what do we have here? So we never got our H bar close above retest to trade this, unfortunately. Let's see what we got here. Let's just delete that. Ooh, the 4 hours getting close, but Chiku is not very good. We're not there yet, but it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Remember we talk about sloped clouds, right? I always talk about I don't like entering on a sloped cloud, so it usually follows it down and makes. So we're seeing a lot of this happen live now that I've been talking about for a week. This is good. So we can break above this. We can get a TK cross. We can start seeing some bullish momentum. But right now, there's not enough for me to enter HTR. And going back to volume, our case for volume, it's not really a case for volume. So we need to really see some power come into that. Some people need to buy it. Sorry, Cody, I don't do Safe Moon. Safe Moon is a safe scam. It's not safe at all. There's nothing safe about Safe Moon. And there's nothing safe about the guy from Safe Moon because he very likely will end up in jail. I'm telling you that. Hey, look at this. Boom. Don't you love when a trade goes to plan? So I drew this up for you guys who were watching Hex the other day. And I said, we're likely to come up to this level, reject, and come back down. We came up to this level. We rejected. We came right back down to here. Not all the way, but to our level, to our box, right? And look what happened. It bounced and kept going higher. TA, it doesn't work. It's a scam. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, guys. I'm telling you. All right, we got 5 more minutes, yo, and then I'm out. What I want to do this week is I want to give away and get you guys into something that's going up. So here's what's coming. You guys have banter bags on Crypto Banter, but you guys know that I have done better than anyone probably I know this cycle. And I'm not trying to say that cocky. I'm saying that I've crushed it when the investments game in this market. And I have some things that I'm going to be doing. We're not going to call it banter bags, but I'm actually going to start my own mini fund where I just put some allocations in, and then we're going to start to give them away like banter bags, but to more people than just a few. We want more people to win. So yes, the market's not amazing, but I don't care. I make money in the market no matter if we're bullish or bearish. So I'm going to give you guys opportunities to make money, whether we're bullish or bearish. And so I have allocations personally that I can hook you guys up with. Some of Massbit. I got stuff, all sorts of things. And I would only give you them after they release. So basically the tokens, when they release, I would give you guys tokens. kind of like a banter bag. I'm planning on doing that just because right now a lot of people are upset, angry, emotional. The market kicked their ass, and I feel like, you know what, maybe I can give you guys something back, and you would appreciate and love that, and it would benefit you guys. And I think that's really important. I really do. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to 100% make it so that you guys can earn. And while we're talking about earn, let's talk about Eternity. A lot of bullish stuff coming out from them. And I'm telling you, don't forget, every time they do a big sale, they use some proceeds to buy back tokens and lock them for 2 years. If you keep doing this over time, there will be less and less earned. There'll be more and more ETH in the pool. It means the price will not go down, it will go up. That's just from anyone who can do math, right? Now, clearly it bottomed out and started a new trend, and it's starting to trend up. If we can break above this level right here, it's such a clear level too. Like, look at this. Hold up. Look how clear of a level this is. Look at this. If I go all the way back here, it's exactly the level that it was in the past. So what I need to happen here for Eternity is I needed to keep pushing some more volume in. And again, we always do very similar trades, don't we? We look for the breakout, the retest. And then what are we looking for? Well, we have a little bit of level right here. So around 12 bucks. And then where's the next level? Right around here, around 16, 17. Right? We have it from back here. And then that will be where we're looking for first. Let's try to get to 16, 17. And yeah, breakout, retest. And we're looking good on Eternity. So lots of stuff is actually not looking horrible. But you know, it is what it is. So a lot of people asking for TRX. Let me see if I have any time for that. I got 2 minutes and then I'm out. So this is the last one I'm doing. I'll do TRX because Harsh is just like hard on for TRX, but please stop messaging TRX or I'm going to ban you from the channel. And I'm banning you from the channel. So unfortunately right now I'm not going to do TRX because that person was so annoying that I'm not going to do it now. Okay. TRX is not a scam. Honestly, I don't know what TRX it really is or isn't because they made everyone lock their tokens for 10 years. So who the hell knows what it'll be? Who knows? All I know is that a lot of people make money and good for them. I don't care because I've made money my own way. And I didn't think that that was a real project. It just seemed like trying to like copy Bitcoin. And then, you know, it's just one of those types of things. And Richard Hart has a crazy like minion following, right? And they just like, they do whatever he says. They love that he trolls everyone, I guess. I actually love that he trolls Peter though. Peter McCormick, because you guys probably all saw on Banter this week. I found him very annoying. People that don't know what they don't know and then admit that they're dumb and they don't know what they don't know, yet they don't take the time to know what they don't know. Those people are stupid. Okay? Those people don't like money. They hate money. They don't really care. So PPay had a really big announcement this week. They're going to have some really cool stuff coming, but I understand reservations of not wanting to trade it right here. But this might be the time if you were going to go and buy PPay. If it was going to get more bullish, this probably would be around the time where it could happen and push towards that 13, 14 cents. So let's see what happens with PPay. They have a lot of stuff coming. And they got on a CoinMarketCap. There's probably some big stuff coming with them, just so you know. Okay, so that's it. That's all we're going to do today. We don't need to go and do a million different coins and stuff like that. The key piece here for me right now is that you guys have opportunities to make money, okay? Because that's more important. We looked at Luna. If you guys have missed anything, definitely look back. Michael Smith, I have already gotten rich from Hex. Good. Look, even if Hex is a scam, so was BitConnect, so is OneCoin, so was Cloud Token. And guess what all those have in common? They all were not scams until they were. They all were really legit until they weren't. I only think it's not legit because I don't think that, you know, people really did the math on it and understood that like you're just holding it forever. But Christopher is right. Sure, you can make money, but There's ways to make money and there's not. Anyways, I'm Coach K. See you guys tomorrow.